All right, folks, we are live. We are at the ambassador's residence. We intentionally misled everybody and said we were going to the back of the embassy. We figured there'd be somebody watching from the embassy. There is nobody here at the ambassador's residence down on 16th Street. Some of you might remember this location. We've done special military operations here before. The lovely thing about this location is it is super hard for them to defend. So if you'll just give me a moment, the camera's going to get shaky here because I'm going to put it in its stand, and we will get its turn on the try to stabilize it here so that we have a good image. Sorry, I had to tear everything down really fast and pack it in the car. And so I'm not quite as well set up here as I was elsewhere. But we are here down on 16th Street. If you have watched the movie, the show The Americans, this is the building in which that this was, at the time that takes place, the early 80s, was the Russian embassy. It moved in, I believe, 83 to the facility that we were at earlier today, and this is now the Russian ambassador's residence. It is a 3-building compound. There's the middle building, and this little townhouse is part of the compound as well. The ceremonial building, by the way, which still has, I believe, a substantial intelligence component up there on the 3rd floor, the ambassador does actually live here, although I don't believe he's in Washington these days much at all, because there's not really very much for Ambassador Antonov to do here in the way of diplomacy. So it is mostly a building for ceremonial purposes, and also has a number, I believe, of intelligence capabilities or rooms that are devoted to such things. And I have a number of reasons for believing that, including what happens when you shine lights on some of those buildings and the windows in the 3rd floor.
I think the light just got on the 1st floor.
So Luda just noticed that now the lights are on the 1st floor. So
Waking up.
one of the great things about this location, so if we're usually when I project here, I project on the surface. Let me try to show you this. I project on the front face of this building where that protruding thing is. It's a big, beautiful surface, but as you'll see, there's a courtyard down there, and people can stand in that courtyard and shine Z and V spotlights. And take pictures of it, tweet them, share them on Facebook. This is
We're doing this because this is.
we come out here every now and then. We include Crimea in the map of Ukraine.
That's a special treat. That's a special treat. Fuckers.
So I completely lost my train of thought with these fine people walking by. Once again, oh yes, the light has gone on in the ground floor. That means we've been noticed. it probably means that they'll be coming out with their own spotlights. But here's the fun part. If you are in that courtyard shining spotlights on the wall to protect that sidewall, you can do it without showing your face. But if you want to shine a Z or V spotlight on this part where we are, you have to be where I can film you. And I have these really lovely people here who have come by, and I'm sure that they will be happy to help me take pictures of anybody who comes out with a Z or V spotlight. Precisely for that reason, I think they probably won't. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some activity in the side here of people who are showing up with maybe in camo gear, projecting spotlights on their side of the wall, but I doubt they will come in front to do it because then we can film them. They never have in the past. So this is a much nicer image of the map than we were able to get, and that is because we're much closer to the target, and also because the target isn't flooded with white light the way the other one is. So I can give you a good view of the Gobo spotlight here, and here are Luda and the passersby chatting, sharing information. You guys, I just remind you, I have been banned from Twitter, but you guys are not banned from Twitter. And please do share Special Military Operation map. I'm going to take a couple of pictures, still pictures here. Just give me a second. All right, let's see.
Is there a hashtag we can tag you on social media?
Well, I'm no longer on.
Well, I just heard the story about you.
They kicked me out. Elon Musk kicked me off of Twitter. And I don't know. I mean, my name is Benjamin Wittes.
Luda told us that. I'm Misha. We're Serbians,
Ah.
Serbian Americans. So we share. I mean, Serbia is like a follower.
You guys are having some trouble these days.
Completely, yeah, absolutely.
Well, welcome, and
if you want to add any hashtag or anything for like a social media viral campaign, because this is completely your real action.
Oh, we got somebody in front. We got more people taking pictures. We do it a lot. I call them special military actions against the Russian embassy. So sometimes I use the hashtag special military operation. You can always tag me, although I won't see it anymore. We're just doing what we can. I thought maybe you were a journalist.
Well, yes, we have a journalist right here.
You saw it, did you? Well, this is an amazing thing. We have 16 bikini rebellions.
Apologies for the shaky image. I don't have my good tripod downtown. So let's see what. We have a good group of passersby. People. There's generally more foot traffic down here because we're downtown, and still no sign of law enforcement. But that's not surprising because the Secret Service. Hey man, Jessica, I can't get a hashtag. I'm banned from Twitter. Create a hashtag for me. it's all the social media is all your department now. I'm just doing the projections. So I am going to just stay here until the something happens, and something might be the Secret Service shows up. That won't be the Z&V spotlights will probably show up if you give them enough time. Thank you, sir. Luda and I will keep talking to. Take care. It's a pleasure to meet you. We will keep talking to passersby. As you're seeing, there's a fair bit of car traffic, bus traffic going by. And just for your physical orientation, we are right now about 4 blocks from the White House. This building, again, for those of you who have just joined, this building is the building that is the embassy in the film, the show The Americans. This was the embassy until probably the mid-1980s, when the U.S. allowed the Russians or then the Soviets to move into their new building, which was is the facility that we just left. This block was named by the District of Columbia after Andrei Sakharov. It's sometimes called Sakharov Plaza. It's really just 16th Street, but and it has the advantage over for projection purposes that we are right up close. We are, again, out of respect for the Secret Service, we tend to stay on the other side of the street. In this case, that's a good thing for us too, because it lets the image get a lot bigger. If we were much closer than this, the image wouldn't take up too much of the building. And the building is, I would say, no more than 100 feet from me, whereas, and more importantly than me, no more than 100 feet from the light. And it's, the diffusion of these lamps is immediately proportional to distance. So if in the other location, we're probably closer to 350 feet away, and the light diffuses a great deal more, they also have more ability to pour their own light on the surface, which makes that target much, much more difficult unless you are using Lord Laser. This is my favorite location to project from, because you get these beautiful, clear images. And as I was saying before, there really is very little they can do about it. As you can see in the lower right of the frame, the light is on. They are aware that we're here. But unlike at the compound itself, where they have a great deal of capacity they have a lot of room to maneuver. Hang on just a second. Tweet it, share it on Facebook. Here they don't have a lot of room to maneuver, and most importantly, they don't have room to maneuver without showing their faces. They don't like to show their faces when they come out. They often wear camo gear and masks. They sometimes wear body armor, which is, I think, I'm not really sure what that's about, since, we've never done anything remotely threatening, and there is, we come bearing photons and nothing else. But they do like to make a show of it. They come out sometimes in camo gear and sometimes bulletproof vests, and once they came bearing fire extinguishers, which I couldn't tell whether that was because they were trying to intimidate us with fire extinguishers, or whether it was because they wanted to pretend we were likely to start a fire. They did engage in one significant-ish act of intimidation this evening, which was when I was stripping down the material from the embassy site. The guy, a big burly guy in a van, showed up in his van with his diplomatic plates and parked the van immediately in front of my car. And sort of ostentatiously glared at me for a couple minutes while I was taking down the equipment. So I wished him a good evening and put the stuff in my car, and then he zoomed off in his van and went into the embassy compound. So, they do engage in petty acts of intimidation and petty efforts to be scary in a way that I think if you were in Russia, would be very scary. Hey.
How you doing?
Good. How are you, sir?
How you doing? All right. What's your name?
I'm Ben.
What are you doing?
I am shining a map of Ukraine on the Russian ambassador's house, and I'm live streaming it. And just so that you know, your voice is going out over the live stream. So,
Oh man, this looks like heaven. Seriously. Oh my God. I would love to find it over here.
yeah, we try to have fun with it. So we are, they do try to be intimidating, and I think if you were, they do things that in Moscow or in their own environment are genuinely terrifying to people for legitimate reasons. But here, they come off as a little buffoonish. Okay, so there we've got some people going by who are just noticing it, and they're, let's wave to them, and maybe they'll come over and talk to Luda.
Who is Luda?
Luda's standing over there, and she can. I'm actually talking to the audience here, but feel free to ask any
her
questions.
right there?
Yeah, right there.
Okay,
she
so-
can tell you all about what we're doing, and we're trying to make it uncomfortable to be a Russian diplomat in Washington, to make it suck
America.
a little bit more,
America.
to be Russian, part of the diplomatic presence of the Russian Federation while they are murdering Ukrainian civilians. So, take screenshots, tweet them, share the live feed on Facebook. We will be here. I will be here until somebody makes me stop, and or until the battery runs out, which may happen first. And we've reached the part of the live stream where I start running out of things to say. So
Can they hear you?
there's a live audience for this. And so if you guys have questions,
They live right there in the middle?
shoot them, and I will try to address them. If you have thoughts, it's not like when I do it with the laser when, I can change what it says. So there's, it's a kind of a static image, but it is a beautiful map of the whole of Ukraine, including notice that Crimea is there in the map. Notice that all of Donbass is there. We haven't carved off part of it or created dotted lines. It is all Ukraine. And please let people know that it's here. They can kick me off Twitter. They can, Elon Musk can prevent me from tweeting, but he can't prevent you from tweeting.
So what does the light actually do? It shines in their house?
No, it's just on the wall. I mean, it shines in the window if you happen to be standing in the window. But the point of it is merely to put a map of Ukraine on the wall of the Russian ambassador, and to do it in blue and yellow, which are the colors of the Ukrainian flag.
Yes.
And so, All right, so Holy Shift asks, where is this? This is on 16th Street in Washington, D.C. This is the residence of the Russian ambassador to the United States, and we have decided to give him a gift this evening, a map of the actual borders of the Ukraine, with none of it lopped off by Russian troops, and to do it in colors that are as offensive as possible to him. So, Mr. Antonov, by the way, I don't think he's likely to be in the building right now, but if he is and he wants to come out and chat, I'm sure Luda would be happy to have a conversation with Ambassador Antonov. And I'm sure that we would love to live stream that conversation. So to my friends in the Russian diplomatic facilities, come out and show yourselves. Drop the camo gear bullshit. We're not going to hurt you. Come out and be, you want to be treated like a civilized country. You have an embassy in our city. Come out and act like it. Come out and, engage in a reasonable discussion. All right. So, again, for those who are just joining us, we are on 16th Street at the residence of the Russian ambassador. There are passersby who have joined us, have asked questions, like the gentleman standing next to me. What's your name? Melvin?
Yeah.
It's good to meet you. We have now some people there across the street who have just noticed. Maybe they will come by. They haven't figured out where it's coming from yet. But I'm waving to them.
I can figure out. I can go in spirit and figure out where it's coming from.
Yeah, it's tricky. I
have to meditate though.
So, it's from here. We are, I'm going to be here kind of until somebody makes me stop. There are, I don't know how long the battery in this, so this is a good little story about the really cool community, the Ukrainian community in Washington. I could not figure out today how to get my generator working, and this HIMAR, the Gobo Spotlight, actually takes a fair bit of power. And so I just shot a note to some friends in the Ukrainian community. Anybody got a generator I can use for a special military operation? And my friend Pavel came back really quickly and said I could use his big battery. Okay, we've got a big black car pulling up right in front of the building. And I wouldn't be entirely surprised if this was diplomatic personnel. So let's see what this gentleman is doing. Yeah, so this is a, I didn't get a good look at the license plates, so I don't know if these are, looks like the battery just went out on the, went back on. We may have just lost power to the generator, which would be the end of the special military operation for the evening. Let me attend to that. In the meantime, you all can keep an eye on this car that just came up. Okay, I think we are at a very low level of battery, which means we are almost done. We now have Secret Service presence, and that is the Secret Service. You can tell because they their cars have gold on them, not red and blue, which is Metropolitan Police. So I still don't know what this car is. But it's, or what it's doing, it may be innocent. It may have nothing to do with the embassy, but it is a big black car. We are back up. And now we're down. I think we are out of power, which means we are basically done for the evening. I was just saying, couldn't get my generator working, so Pavel lent me a battery, and we have now depleted that battery. So thanks to everybody who has joined us, and we are going to sign off. I hope we've caused some unpleasantness for the embassy personnel. We have the Z spotlights never made it downtown, so we had an unobstructed view projection for, I don't know, probably about 30 minutes, however long this has been up. And let me get it for one more moment up, see if I can get the battery up one more time for just a short thing while we sign off.
Someone is sprinkling something down. White.
I think it's the cherry tree, actually. All right, we are back up, if only for a moment. Gonna shoot a couple more pictures, and then I'm gonna go home because I got to get up tomorrow and fly to Boston to teach. You know, it's like I have a day job or something. Героям слава.
That's beautiful. You know, you're doing job. Like, it's so nice.
Oh, it's it's good to have them.
Thank
you.
Thank you.
It's
Are you from Yugoslavia?
No, we're from Ukraine. That's
You're from
why we're like
Ukraine?
so happy to see this. You know, it's so.
So were you just walking by, or?
Yeah, we're going for stand up.
So yeah, we try to
You
project
all are
it.
related, aren't you?
No, oh no, not.
You too? I know because I'm a portrait artist. I know the features.
All right, so we've just lost power again. I think we are actually done this time. Gonna sign off. You are all great Americans and great Ukrainians and great wherever the hell you're from. We will see you soon.